Good job. There you go. I love it. I like it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
My friends like partner.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Oh, here. You can get out of here.
Yeah, they're interesting. Okay.
Well, good stuff. It's, because it's very over.
So that's all that. If I can a lot of facts. Yeah. What do you mean for turning in paperwork? Guys, the lunch is out there, if you guys want to grab something to eat.
Sure thing, thank
And
you.
there's coffee and water.
It won't make it. Right down that. Hey there.
That was you. I'm sorry. I've only asked for that stuff that's surprised. She worked out there. Yes, it ought to be worked
You're joining us today. I'm so excited. I'm just overheated. Oh, well, that's I know.
That's actually because I've been bringing in food from outside and I absolutely cannot handle it.
Well,
I just can't take it. I don't know how I survived being
no, I'm with you. Marinelli, look who's on the screen. Oh, on the screen. David's on the screen. I mean, Michael's on the screen. You know, I was calling David. Okay. Hi, hubby.
All right.
We're gonna shake it up a little bit today.
Are we?
Well, since you guys have heard and seen my copies of the presentation 10 times already over the years, I've been working on a new project. So, what do you want?
Good, how are you doing?
3 minutes. I'll make sure to say how to look at this whole thing, introducing it as a media.
Got a funny feeling when she walks in the room. Hey, my, as I recall it ended much too soon. Why did it take so long to see the light? Seems so wrong, but now it seems so right. What a lady, what a night. I felt the rush like a rolling over spinning my head around and taking my body under.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop, and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because we earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase.
And with no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. What's in your wallet?
If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 miles to the love shack, yeah, yeah. I'm heading down the Atlanta highway, looking for the love getaway, headed for the love getaway. I got me a car, it's as big as a well.
Good morning, Roswell. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, I feel like my voice might be going out already. This is not a good sign. Y'all better help me out a little bit. So let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Good morning. So it's really, really great to see everybody on Zoom. Thank you so much for being in on Zoom. Tell me something you are grateful for, and then we're going to do a really fun exercise. Did you know I like things like icebreaker things? But we have to start off with some gratitude. Marinelli, tell me something good.
That lady up there, Corey Howard, she is the bomb.
She is. So now, Corey Canoe. Yes, that's important to see.
I mean, we were out of town for 2 weeks and then we got COVID while being out of town. And she was a rock star with all my clients. And several closings, several clients that were.
This is teamwork. This is teamwork. Teamwork. Okay, somebody else. Something you're grateful for. Yes, sweetheart, tell me.
So I was just telling her that I'm extremely grateful for that.
Really, we are eternally grateful for you as well. If you trusted us and Stephanie did the bomb, that is for sure. Nice job. Okay, one more. What's grateful for today? Sissy, what do you have?
I had a super challenging year, professionally and personally, and I wanted to thank John Solano for giving me some great, advice at our last ALC meeting and, bringing it down, and I want to thank Fiona Jane for letting me, Divine intervention.
It was lovely. Yeah.
I love that. Isn't it nice to be able to have somebody that you can trust, that that they're a safe person to vent to, and it's not, it's not this bashing another or something like that. That's awesome. How do you like my new Christmas jar? Melody broke the last one, and so she came back and said, "Here's your new Christmas jar." Oh, sweet. Isn't that sweet? Okay. Where's my little switcher? Okay, everybody get out your phones. Put them on silent, but get your phones out. We're gonna do an exercise. Everybody get out your phones. I promise you, we're not gonna make phone calls. Everybody's like, "Oh, my gosh." No, we're not doing that. So everybody open your cell phones and open your text messages. All right, now click on the emojis down at the bottom. Now what we're gonna do is you're going to share back. Would you click on that screen? There we go. All right, what is your most used emoji? Turn to the person next to you and show them your most used emoji. And let's have a little conversation about your most used emojis. All right, so raise your hands if most of your emojis were celebratory emojis. Okay, raise your hands if they were the poop emojis. If I let my granddaughter take my phone, it would be full of those. Am I right, Scott? It would have poop emojis on there because that's what they love. And the throwing up emojis, right?
We are eating.
Oh, we are eating. I'm not eating, but we are eating. I'm so sorry. Barf bags will be provided. Crystal, I don't know. I haven't even thought about that. That's awesome. Okay, switch back over on the top one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sissy, come on out. We're gonna have some fun. Today is Profit Share Tuesday. Tell me what Profit Share Tuesdays are. Money in your bank. Exactly. Who got some money in their bank on the 21st? Ben Lively did, Fiona Jane, Tori did, Roxy did. That's exactly right. So tell us a little bit, we've got some fun stuff. Go for it.
Yeah, so if you don't know what profit share is one of the cool things that Keller Williams does. So they want to share the profits that what the market center makes. So every market center has owners, and in every business, owners get a percentage of the profit. At Keller Williams, a market center owners get 52%, but 48%, which is quite a bit, goes back into profit share and is shared with all the individuals that participate in profit share within the market center. Does anyone know how you participate in profit share? Yes, Roxy.
You introduce someone to Keller Williams that would be a good fit that we want to be in business with.
Absolutely. That is as simple as that. And if they join Keller Williams and they contribute to the profit of the market center, you make a small portion of the profit. Now, hear me, you are not making a piece of their commission. So if someone has sponsored you into KW, they're not making money off you. They're getting rewarded for the profit that the market center makes for bringing in people that are great realtors. That's kind of
Well
a simple
said.
platform.
Well said.
And so checks can range from $1 to $10,000 a month, depending on the profit share. And I just want to share some of the checks this month. Corey Howard, you had a nice check.
Yeah.
Raven, can you get Corey Howard's a big fat check?
Oh, I'm sorry. My phone. Ann, can you take a picture?
Yeah,
Sorry,
sorry,
we got it,
Raven.
Raven. We got it.
Sorry. You hold your fancy check.
Yay. Okay, so Miss Professional Photographer. is
I
making a
know.
birthday
They're
party.
looking good. And her fabulous.
All right, there's more too.
All
Yeah.
right, does she take this back to her desk? We'll hold it up here for you.
It's just fair.
And Marinelli, where are you? Marinelli. Guys, this is easy money. You're doing that for them. It's passive.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Do you have plans for your 1800? You know it's gonna be so.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out how to get my husband to come with me full-time. So this is probably gonna go into a little pot to kind of help us get there.
I love
So,
that.
yeah.
Congratulations, Michael. I know you're on Zoom. Congratulations.
And I want to say too, another cool thing about profit share is once you have been with KW, what is it, 7 years, you are vested, meaning that this never goes away, even if you retire, even if you're crazy enough to go to another brokerage, which I don't recommend. You still get this. So it's really, really cool.
Another really cool thing about that is if you pass away, it inherits to your beneficiaries.
Yeah, that's significant.
That's pretty
really
cool.
Now this next person, this is a little, I mean, it's amazing.
It's
When I
crazy.
saw this, I'm like, no, I put on my glasses. I'm like, what is that an extra zero? Is that for the year? You know, I could not figure it out. No, this is for the month. And this person really focuses a lot on bringing great new agents into KW. And so Bill's check, he's not here.
He's closing on an investment property today.
I can't even, I mean, I'm like. 70,000 last year. Yes, yeah. And just so you know, I think it's next Tuesday after team meeting, Bill is actually teaching a class on the profit share tree and you know, how it works, because it's not complicated, but it's a little more complicated than I explained it. I gave the layman's version of how it works, but he can teach you how to build passive income and really just teach you how to introduce KW to other agents. And that's it. Oh, I do want to say, this is a stack of everybody getting a profit share check. There's some other impressive ones. I tried to pick ones that I knew were going to be here, but I'm just going to tell you a couple of other people that are getting checks. Melody Gray is getting 135. Sarah Bullard is getting 899. Catherine Burchett, 573.
Nice job.
Marie Burgess, she's here. She's getting 82.55.
Nice.
Lynette Burton, $94. Ben Cavalier, 112. I'm not gonna read all these. I'm just trying to pick some random ones out, guys. Precious is getting 254, and I think that might be her first.
I think
check.
it's her first one. Yeah.
Everybody, I really encourage you to come next Tuesday to build class if you're able to do that.
From 1 to 3 next week.
Yep, that's it. I'll leave these here for you guys.
Thank you, Stacey. That's awesome. Thank you. Congratulations, everybody. Okay. So on the 21st of every month, money shows up in your account. When you came on board, remember you had to give your checking account number and you're like, that was for deposits, not withdrawals. And it's for that. It's so that we can get that. Kathy or Alec is in the house. Come on up, Alec from Shelter Mortgage. Everybody give. Alec.
Hey, good morning,
And
everyone.
Alec.
Yeah, and I see Karen always poking at my mustache when I'm up here, so if she texts you, let me know, I'll have to have a word with her. But
Doing it right now.
I know, she's quick on the draw. So just wanted, so again, if you guys are getting the Shelter 6, please reach out to me and we'll get you on the list. You should be on there. It's a really awesome tool. It gives 6 kind of bullet points of what's going on in the industry. So just want to touch on a few. First, rates dropped to 5.5.
Yes.
And one of the points that's on the Shelter 6 is rates. The MBA is projecting for them to kind of stabilize in that mid-5 range. And then by the end of the year, drop to around 5.25. Again, no crystal ball, we'll see, but we've seen in the last 2-3 weeks more stability with the rate. So hopefully that continues throughout the year. The MBA also is forecasting that 2023 purchase originations are flat from last year. And then up slightly the following. So probably staying in the same, origination point. And then inventory is up, continuing to climb. National home inventory was 2% higher in June than a year ago. And that's the first annual increase in 3 years. So definitely seeing that inventory go up, and I know you guys are as well. And then home values hit a new record. Average, let's see, a year ago at 13% higher than a year ago at 416,000. So yeah,
That's national.
That is national, correct. And then the last thing I want to touch on is the feds meet tomorrow. And we had a conversation in the parking lot about track me down the parking lot. But they've already come out and said that they're going to raise it at least 0.75 points. And we say that it's priced into mortgage rates. We said that last time, and it still had an increase on mortgage rates. So even though you're hearing your lender saying it's priced in, it is to some extent. But the Fed pushed it up higher than they said they were, which again does affect mortgage rates. So if you have that person that's on the fence, not sure if they should put that offer in, put that offer in. We can actually lock that rate in before the offer is accepted. And so if you have that person that's right there, not sure if they want to make the offer, let them know that, the Fed meeting tomorrow, those rates are going to go up. And even though it's priced in, we'll still probably see a little bit of an increase in interest rates. And it should, it should balance back out and maybe come down. But, for that person that's on the fence, have that can kind of be their incentive to really go for it there. And then the other thing is we have our mortgage A to Z on Thursday, the 28th. Is that Thursday? Yep, on Thursday, from 10 to 11. It is only in person. We're not doing Zoom. So if you're able to come, it can be as structured or as informal as anyone needs. If there's a lot of people that come, we'll go through the slides, but if not, it can be a little more personal, ask some more specific questions. If you're not able to make it, that's okay. Just reach out to me and we can schedule some one-on-one time to kind of, sit down and run through everything. So if you have any questions about that or want to schedule that, just reach out. And for any other questions, Kathy and I were really grateful for you guys. love being able to hang out and be in this office with everybody. So I'm looking forward to growing our business with you guys and stop by if you need anything.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay.
Ms. Kern is in the house. Wearing her green. We love our Kern. Morning.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fern Schwartz with O'Kelly and Sorahan. So we are your Attorney Alliance partner. Two things that we love is to have fun with y'all and to help you, not necessarily in that order. So fun first today, for those of you that are going to Mega Camp, put our event on your calendar. It's going to be Monday, the 22nd, 7 to 9 at the Four Seasons. You can RSVP to me, it's fine. Or our actual invite is Emma Towers, and one or the other is fine. You don't need to do both. So health. Okay, I just want to let you know some of the other resources that we have at O'Kelly. And one of them is an attorney named Phil Erickson. Now, Phil works out of our Duluth office, but he does trust and estate work, so wills, that type of thing, probate, and he does incorporations. Okay, and this is a resource for both you and your clients. So I've had a run of estates lately where they didn't already have an estate attorney and need to probate a will. Seller, owner has passed away, and I refer those to Phil. If you have something like that come up, feel free to reach out to me first, and I will put you in touch with Phil too. He's very used to working with Keller Williams. And then if you need to form an LLC or anything like that, Phil can help you as well. And definitely, call me and I'll give you his information if you don't already have it. So just so you know, I'm on vacation next week. Right. That doesn't mean that I'm not around. I will help you if you call me, email me, text me, but I'm not going to be as fast next week. I've got one going to college. Help me, please. So it's really going to be like a screen. It's a boy too, so to tell what's going on in my house right now. If you do not have my information and my card already in your phone, get out your phone again and send me a text with your name at 404-931-6168. Okay. 404-931-6168. So next week, if you need something, you feel free. Bessie is here. My staff can help you, no problem. I just won't be as fast, but feel free to call me, text me, email me anytime.
She's
I just wanted
looking.
to add in real quick when you were saying before about Phil Erickson. If you have any clients, I swear to you, at all in probate or anything like that, you're just getting started. I've had 2 different people switch to him and he made their lives, he was much more affordable, made it so much easier being able to work with O'Kelly. I mean, probate in itself takes a long time, but he is so good. And he can even answer questions too you might have, because it's can be a long and confusing process. I can't say enough good things.
Yeah, he's very nice. He's very sweet to your clients. And I know enough about probate to be dangerous. So he's the one that I ask to. But if ever you have a client in that situation, I have one right now where daughter and mom trying to sell her house and mom's not doing well. So, I get me involved early so that we can be proactive on it, because those things take a little bit longer and we'll get Phil involved and help you out. That's it.
Thank you. Everybody give her a big. We've got Michael Harris with Georgia Natural Gas. This is a great resource for your clients. And they can get a discount. All they have to do is put KW Roswell into the discount code on gng.com, GMG Hub. Kelly Lukenda is not here unless she's on Zoom. And 210 Home Warranty, she was here last week. Remember, 210 Home Warranty is fantastic. coverage. If you don't have a 210 home, you don't have a home warranty company, please, 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 give Kelly Lupenda a try. She's fantastic. Okay, DK Rental, Stephanie, come on up. Thank you for lunch, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Publix. They are the best at making sandwich platters. And for vegetarians, if you haven't figured out, the tomato wraps are all veggie, so. Most of you have seen my presentation because I've been here, I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 times already this year, and I just started in March essentially. But one thing about the profit share, now that I have my license, if I ever leave property management, I know what firm I want to come to. So DK Rentals Residential Property Management, one of the things that Todd, the owner of the company and my broker, has always said is if you self-manage, you must have brain damage. And that's all fine and good, but it's really hard to put that on paper. So I did. And everybody has one of these. I encourage you to share this with any investor you have, any client who wants to sell their home and rent it out and manage it themselves. I'm sorry, buy a home, rent it out and manage it themselves. This is just a small sample of what has to be done. The laws in Georgia are crazy. They are designed to protect the homeowner. But if the homeowner doesn't know them, then it's all out the window. From a $70,000 service animal that was turned away, cost the homeowner 70 grand. Or somebody who moves into a rental unit and they haven't yet signed the walkthrough inspection and you take a security deposit, they can destroy the house and you got to give that security deposit right back. Doesn't matter. So I've given you a handy dandy checklist for everything. If you've got a client who says, I want to self-manage, take them through this or have them call me and I'll take them through this because it is definitely a bad idea. Finally, just remember that for all agents, if you refer a client to us, flat $80 a month for management, 2 years down the road, they want to sell their house and they call us, we won't take the listing. We turn around and call you back. So we will not, we always protect our agents. That's it for me. Yes.
Do you have this available in a soft copy?
I
on
do
your website?
actually. Yeah, I actually sent it to Raven this morning.
We'll all get it out with the slides today.
Yep.
Thank you.
So that, and everybody on Zoom can have a copy of it too. I highly recommend that you read through it. If you see something that needs to be added to it, call me because this is by no means comprehensive. It's just after 3 pages of writing, I got tired. So enjoy your lunch. Thank you all for having me again. I really love this place. It's our favorite Keller Williams office. Just please don't tell everybody.
Yeah, okay. I do send it out to all the other KW offices just to say, ha. No, I'm kidding. I don't. Thank you,
Probably be okay
Stephanie.
if you did.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you so
Everyone give
much.
Stephanie a round of applause. Thank you all. Okay, a couple of other tools that you guys need. Remember, Homeward, Not, Key Please, Keller Offers, Keller Ready to Sell, Keller Mortgage, Bank Shop, and Earnest. These are all tools. Remember, these are linked. Please use them. Again, FJ is going to talk a little bit about earnest money, so Earnest can come back into play there. Who's going to Mega Camp? Raise your hand, big, big, big. If you want, nice, nice. Who's going to Mega Camp Digital? Yes, nice. Okay, great. You can click there to register. You guys, $149. The price goes up in 2 days. On the 29th or whenever that is, on the 29th, prices go up. So if you do intend, if you want to go to Mega Camp Digital, you will have access to those slides for 60 days afterwards. Not a bad deal at all. If you want to invite another agent from somewhere else to attend Digital Mega Camp experience, we can do it right here. Scan that code and register your guest. You'll get some free perks, productivity coaching, and if you're already in PC coaching, you'll get a group coaching call with a Max coach. So a lot of fun there. Okay, any questions on Mega Camp?
Can we invite someone to the Mega Camp, a day event?
Yeah.
The actual,
Yeah.
they, similar to Bowl, they can come as a guest?
They can talk to me afterwards and I'll show you how we can do that. Yeah, just talk with me afterwards. Okay. FJ, come on up, babe. Broker mode. Okay. Unity chest. How do you like this?
Yeah.
That's my favorite card.
And to get out of jail free, and it's worth bucks. I'm telling you, I sell it at a very high cost. Indeed.
All right, morning. I am Fiona Jane and I am the compliance broker. And I'm blessed because I also get to sell. So I'm also in production. So sometimes if my door is closed, it's because I'm running around just like y'all are. The only thing is I have to hold myself at kind of like a higher standard because what kind of an example will I be setting if I'm losing clients, earnest money? So earnest money, earnest money, earnest money. Okay. In Grec law, it clearly says, and this is why you got a license, it clearly says that you are to protect the client's earnest money. I have all of this where clearly we have not been. And this is on my file that says working on. So it's a two-way street. The big one that I said to Robin that I would talk about is if you have a corporation, and let's say that you are the listing agent. And if you have a corporation who you think is God's gift with this offer that's come in and you're like, oh yes, I make more commission. Oh yes, the seller can close a lot soon. The seller can close a lot soon and make more money. You might be very careful to not take that offer. Just saying. Yes, because the likelihood is that all of these are not closing because the corporation, the iBuyers, didn't tell the truth. And they are writing offers left, right, and center, and you're all grabbing them and going, yay. And they are then changing their minds, and they are putting in the contract, will go binding, and then we'll deposit the earnest money within 3 days of binding. But, and we are excellent, so we're not going to do a due diligence. And you go, yeah, that's fabulous. No due diligence, even though Melba Franklin tells us all to have at least 1 day. But you've got a big fat goose egg on that. You've got a goose egg on financing, goose egg meaning 0. And you just go, yay, that's great. Well, guess what? Then they can suddenly decide that goose egg. Then they can read lips. So then they can bail on you. They suddenly look at the numbers and that's all you are. It's not like dealing with a real buyer. They just look and they go, oh no, we decide we're not going to buy Carrie. That's fine. Great. So they terminate. And for what reason? You've got no due diligence, no financing contingency. How dare you? And this lady here quite rightly says, no, you can terminate all day long, but we think that we should have the earnest money because you have no grounds to terminate. You said you were the best deal since sliced bread, and we took you at your word because I'm foolish. And I took it, and she's got every right. Then when the T&R comes across to go, no, $10,000, no, I'm sorry, it comes back to my seller. Well, guess what? They never deposited the earnest money. And you allowed that. You can all take responsibility because I did too. Because you go, okay, it's fine, but you know, on the purchase and sale on page 1, it has like 3 days after binding. I'm just warning you, just say, do number 1 at time of offer.
In this office, that's what we do because we're the best trained agents in Georgia.
Right, indeed. Yes, that's exactly what we do. So I'd be out of a job this week. But yeah, so anyway. No. No, you number 7. No. We all done it. We've all done it. I did it. We've all done it. I'm just warning you as the market takes a little bit of a shift, and I'm not into this whole big shift thing, but as it tweaks a little bit, sellers are going to be more likely to go, yeah, we'll take it, Carrie, let's do it. But you can counter and say, yeah, we like your offer, Mrs. Whatever, iBuyer
you know? But we want the earnest money at time of offer. And we can do that earnest, you can wire it yourselves to the attorneys, but really, because otherwise, why do we have this earnest money? It means nothing.
How can you terminate a contract and get the money back if there's no money on the contract?
And you're not getting it.
Right.
You can jump around, you can scream and shout at me on a Sunday afternoon. You're not getting it back because the iBuyer is going, whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be fine. You'll find another offer.
Right.
That warning.
I
That's
would
it.
not be surprised, and I've said this before, I wouldn't be surprised if Seth Weisman and the committee form, they should change that, especially going into this slight shift that we're in.
Correct.
They should change that, and even if they don't, guys, let's get the earnest money on day of offer.
Yeah.
Please, get the earnest money on day of offer.
You know, Robin and I were talking yesterday, and when I was a girl in 1995, be quiet. Both of you. But we didn't, yeah, we didn't have that option. There was one box. There wasn't even another. It was like, how much? And that's it. And you had to bring the contract to your broker with the check, slide it under a door at 10 o'clock at night. So you didn't lose it and it wasn't left and you got to confront them.
Yep, very good.
Next.
Yep,
Right?
you want to make your two announcements, you want to come
Yeah.
back later?
Go
Go for it.
It's done.
We have two announcements that is, that are awesome,
Right.
so, different hat,
Different
broker hat is
hat,
on,
right.
agent hat's on.
This one is something that we're gonna be doing on 9/11. 9/11, we all know, even if you're a burner, 9/11 happened, you know. Burner, yeah.
Burner.
Are you a burner? I'm a burner. Yeah, burner. So 9/11, and we've been working with our committee to get something organized where we can all give back and donate. And I've done it in different market centers where you have a blood drive. I mean, perfect day for it. 9/11 this year is on a Sunday. And we are going to be doing it with the American Red Cross. It's going to be from 12 till 5 p.m. We are deliberating whether to do it in our car park or the fire brigade. I mean, I'm so English today. The fire brigade's car park. And we'll let you know close to the time. But it's going to be a great event. You're going to be able to go onto a link like you do for CVS Dock in a Box, like you do for everything, where it puts in your time. I think, Roxy, there were 15-minute intervals. Is that what they were, 30 minutes?
15 minutes.
Right. The big van will come, say we do it here. The big van thing will come. You will bring yourselves. We're gonna see if we can do it. I've got some calls to make to the lady today to see if the time increments could be expanded, if they're gonna have multiple chairs or whatever, so that we could invite family and friends.
Yeah, we'll get more details as it gets closer, 9/11.
But
we'll get
9/11
more details.
On a Sunday,
Mark your calendar.
mark your calendar, yeah. It's gonna be a fun thing and it's good to do it.
Yeah.
What's not,
It's so fun. Who likes needles?
well, you don't. I'm not even gonna go there.
All right. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, market update. What's happening? What's happening? So did you guys get, on Friday, did you get the Friday Cherokee, Cobb, South Forsyth, or Forsyth and Bolton numbers? So what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Before I switch up the slide, what are you seeing in the market today? More inventory and less competition, less multiple offers, and less pendings. Less pendings. 1593, remember, this is just detached homes in all of the metro Atlanta area. 1,593, 914 pending, 1871 closings. Wow. If we're down on pendings, what does that tell us? Say it again. Closings will be less. So, and yet, guys, we have over 2,100 more homes this year than last year. And yet we have less pending this year than last year. What does that tell you? Market is softening, right?
Hey, Robin.
Buyers are deciding, okay, raise of hands. How many have you seen, how many of you have had more terminations than you've had in a long time? Take a look. Last Monday, Lee processed 7 TNRs in this office in one day. Across the country, we're seeing buyers literally walking away from their earnest money. Okay, we know that. This is why FJ is talking about it. They're literally walking away from their earnest money. We never thought that would happen. You're just gonna walk away from 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand. You're just gonna walk away, right? This is what's happening over the last 3 weeks. So inventory, now we are seeing some seasonality. The market is always slow in July, right? It's always slow in July. August, it'll pick back up. September is usually phenomenal, right? Anne is nodding her head. So, but look at what's happened. 914 pendings, just over 1,000 on pendings. Right?
Robin,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, and I know it's sometimes I get confused on these things. I just want to get some clarity. If I go back and look at the trend of pendings, and I know it's always behind the closings, they never add up to the closings. Are we taking into account that some of the agents just don't put it in that pending status? And how does that affect how we read, this? Because you don't have any kind of way to gauge how many people aren't putting it in pending.
Yeah, and that's really the problem. That's the problem for appraisers. That's the problems for us in tracking our numbers, that if somebody has an off-market property, now you're gonna get paid through the office if it's an off-market property. So we can show it as closed at that point, right? If it's off-market and you never listed it in FMLS, please list your listings. Please do that. Even if it goes under contract before, please list them because of this, right? Nobody wants to pay that FMLS fee. We don't. None of us like to pay that FMLS fee, but it gives us accurate data. So yeah, it is hard, Greta, because there are some and there are some brokerages that if it never goes through FMLS, there's no way to pull it.
But
so
if it's
that, we'll have to go back and look. So in these numbers, Greta, those will not be in there except for the closed.
I guess I'm confused. I'm sorry. That's one part of the question, but the other question is, shouldn't your pendings add up to your closings? Because shouldn't every listing go through pending to closing? You know what I mean?
No, because if it's a pending and that buyer terminates, then it's not going to go to a closing, right?
So then it should be at least as high as your closings.
No, because if you had 100 pending, but 20 of them terminated after you went to pending, you're only going to have 80 closings, right?
But I'm saying as a trend, because we're looking at, if you look back over like the last 4 weeks, we're 30% under, like it just never adds up to the number of closings.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's why the market is softening. We're seeing 28% of the 28% price reductions. We are seeing 18% failed listings. So yes, it's not going to add up because people are literally walking away from their deals. So they won't add up.
Why are they walking away? Answer that question.
Buyer uncertainty, right? There are a lot of different reasons why somebody may have got remorse. Hey, I put an offer out there and then they saw something else that they liked better. And they just said, okay, we're just doing this. Put an offer on this one. And then, okay, oh, but I really, really like this one. Let's terminate that one. And if they don't have enough earnest money in, maybe they'll walk. Sissy.
I think some of what we're seeing why buyers could potentially be walking away is sellers have been used to not doing the right thing, getting what they want,
Good point.
how they want it, and not fixing the leak in the bathroom. Now buyers are not, they're not accepting that. Buyers are saying this is broken, I want it fixed. And if sellers are still in the mindset that they don't have to do anything and they're not budging, then the buyers could be walking. That could be one of them.
Yeah, Dustin,
I think the high rates, it's not strange to say this, but I think the high rates have given.
that
buyers
plays
more
into it too.
courage,
Yeah.
right? Because they're saying, listen, if we're gonna pay this rate, right, which of course, we're educating them, we're gonna refinance them out of it when rates go back down. But they're like, okay, well, we're gonna, before it's a low rate and we'll take what you get. All right, great, we're glad to have a house at a 30-year, 3.5, right? Now, if they're gonna pay a 6.25 rate, no, we're not gonna take the crap. All right. We're not
Right,
gonna
right.
take-
We want everything fixed.
Correct,
Yeah.
because if we're gonna do this, now we can't afford to do that.
Right, and we pay full price or over full price still, because we're still getting and we're still getting most of them.
That is fleeting.
Right, it is fleeting, but we're still, the stats are still showing 101.2% right now. We know that's going down, but yes, the expectation's been, what do you think?
Investor buyers are backing out because they think
Yeah.
2 months from now they can buy for 15%.
Yeah, that's right, that's right,
They're not wrong.
yeah.
But whatever, and they can get a $15,000 reduction.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, that's right, because the investors don't, interest rates really don't matter for investors. Dustin,
It's something pretty incredible having a team. We had a full price offer coming over on 800 after a week on the market, and they got to expect a report back. The windows were bad, the ADs was bad. They went at $75,000 off.
Yes.
And they said, after they thought about it, the buyer said, you know what, actually, we don't want that. We're just gonna burn it."
Yeah,
I mean, it's happening. I mean, and that, by the way, that was a cash offer. Okay, you're seeing it flow through all offer metrics right now, not just on the financing side.
Yeah.
Buyers are watching the stock market. Buyers are watching the interest, rate, right?
Yeah.
We have a Fed meeting today. The press conference will be tomorrow at 2:30. They're talking about 75 basis points hikes, right? When July's numbers comes out, we're gonna be over 10% inflation. We're not getting control of this. So they're probably gonna do 100 basis points. I mean, people know this, right?
Yeah.
The public has never been more educated on what's going on. Because partially they feel it in their.
they
pockets.
haven't been more educated, but the flip side of that is if we are not narrating, if we are not giving them actual data and showing them that this is not 2008 again, this is not a recession like the 70s, this isn't that, that's up to us to be able to provide that information to them and help them understand and protect their equity, right? So it's, as we go along, this is, would you switch on? Thank you. This is what I sent out on Friday. And so withdrawn and expired, how many do we have there? 244. Remember what Andy says? Andy Peters says this. What did he say about withdrawn listings? You remember? What did he say?
The fire name.
Hired agent.
Oh,
yes,
that's exactly what he said. You're a fire agent. Sorry. Right? For those of you in ALC, we had Andy speak to us last week and he said in a withdrawn listing, do you know what that is? You just got fired. You just got fired, right? So, what is 244 withdrawns and expireds to you, Heather? You just said it. Opportunity. Opportunity. So there's going to be more and more of that. Okay, here's your party chatter for how's the market, because this is what they're hearing. They're hearing we're going to be up to 10%. We've got stock markets stock markets, the tech stocks are going down. We're seeing this all over the place. What's the reality? Sellers are still getting over 101% of their houses.
No, I released the stat that said 51% of houses are still getting multiple offers, 3 to 4.
Yep.
Multiple.
Now, we're not getting 30 or 40, but hey, we're getting multiple offers still, right?
It's not saying that.
That's right.
So you have to know the stats.
That's it. Did you hear her? Right? The news isn't saying, hey, sellers are getting 101.2% of their market. Why aren't they saying that? Because that doesn't sell advertising, right? The median days on market is 9 compared to 8 last year. We're watching this, right? Those weekly stats that I'm sending out to you, I'm charting them so that we can see the trend line. So we go 4 weeks in, 8 weeks in, we're going to start seeing that trend line, and I'm going to share that with you. There's currently just over 1 month of supply for detached and 1.5 for attached. You know what it is in Austin, Texas? Just heard from my coach this morning, 3.5 months of inventory in Austin, and they were one of the hottest markets in the country. Median sales price, $467 for attached, for detached, $340 for attached. Distressed sales, they're only 0.5% of the market. Okay, they're only 0.5% of the market. Interest rate is around 5.75%. Historic average is 7.2. So when somebody says, hey, how's it going? Where do you think the prices are going? This is where. You guys, this is from NAR. This is from CoreLogic data, by the way. And we're starting in January 2021. Okay, home prices up. We experienced this. Thank you for those big fat checks. And then 20.9 in April and March and April of this year, 20.2, that's national. Well, yeah, we're seeing that locally too, right? This is why our closed volume is up. So what are the economists? Because we can sit in front of a seller all day long and give our opinions. That's just our opinion. Let's give them data so that you know exactly that you can say, well, let's see what the market says. Let's see what the chief economist of NAR says. Let's see what this person says when that seller says, are the prices going up? What should I do? Should I wait? Should I not? Well, give them data so that they can decide. Here's what. You might be asking, why did home prices climb so much last year? It's because we had more people wanting to buy them than we had houses. Shortage of inventory. That's what that was. We've been preaching this since 2021, right? This is what the experts are saying. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, explains it like this. We're still well below normal levels of inventory, and that's why even with the pullback in demand, we still see house prices appreciating. We're still seeing at least 100%. While there is more inventory, it's still not enough. Selma House chief economist at CoreLogic says the current home price growth rate is unsustainable. Duh, we knew that. And higher mortgage rates coupled with more inventory, yeah, we knew that, will lead to slower home price growth, but unlikely declines in home prices. With that being said, you got a listing at 2.5 to 2.7 then. Seller wants 2.7. You think it should be 2.5? Do you? Okay. All right, we're gonna mastermind around this right now with Ben. 2.5% new renovation, gorgeous house in town area, Morningside. 2.5. Okay, there's no right or wrong answer. Who says list it for 2.7 and settle for 2.5? Who's gonna say that? Yeah. Right. You're welcome. And what's the commission? All right.
4 years old. Can read new.
Objection, Your Honor.
Leslie said, all right, raise your hand. Okay, what do you think, Heather?
You listed 2.7. You always take the listing. You take the listing and you put in your contract, the verbiage that says, that's a luxury market, so it's a little bit different, but you go by the time frame. If we don't have an offer by this time, then we adjust.
By the days on market for that price in that area.
Take the listing, take the listing.
Ben, what say you?
10 showings in 10 days or we change the price.
Yeah, that's it. 10 showings in 10 days, and 10, 10, and 30. No offer in 30 days, then you reduce the price by 5%. Here's the deal though. If you're in your luxury market, if the average days on market are 45 days, then you need to revise that from 30 days to 45 days for no offer. Otherwise, it's not quite fair, right? Okay, there you go. Anybody else want to throw your advice in the ring on this?
So I said this in our listing presentation, but it's not a right. You can get two options, right, when you're listing property. Number one, you can list property correctly, and the ones that don't fit your available listing price, right? you turn down, and you just go on a lot of appointments, and that's okay. Or number two is you can take every listing, and you can focus on improving your price reduction behind it. You can do either one, both of them will end up being similar, right? But it just depends, I mean, I know some agents doing 100, 200 million in volume, and I mean, this is the last 10 years, close your eyes, write it down, I'll get you where we need to go.
Right.
Right, because I'm gonna work that price reduction from day one.
Yeah.
But you've gotta be strong at that, you've gotta train at that.
And set those expectations and put it in writing in the list.
For your high Ds in the room, that will work, right? Like, if you don't write to right, we're out, you know, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
But I think it's pick which one you wanna be great at, focus on that, and then continue to run that model, because you'll end up with very similar results.
You really will, and if there are multiple offers, if there's a trend for multiple offers in that area, and if those multiple offers are selling $100, $200, $300,000 above list price, that's something you gotta take into consideration as well. But I don't think, and it certainly doesn't look like the economists think that the prices are going to start declining. They may decelerate a little bit, because as a reaction to the interest rate, but we still have shortage of inventory, we have more people buying than we have selling. And so,
Just a little inside information. I'm close friends with the CFO of a major builder. in
Yeah.
Atlanta, and they're just stopping. They're pulling they laid off their people and they're gonna stop. Because their costs are
They can't
outweighing
do it.
what they can get for the house. They just can't do it. They're just backing it all down,
and
which is gonna make the inventory situation
a lot worse. Now, just so everybody knows, Ben is a builder. He's been a builder in the area for 30 years. He knows what he's talking about. And so when Ben says something about inventory, I'm listening to what Ben says. And so when he says that that there is no margin for the builders, and this is why they're getting out, this is where the pressure is on us to go for those resales. Because we're not gonna, new construction's been behind for 10 years, yes?
Yeah.
And that's not gonna get better.
and they're not.
Okay,
To caveat that, I have a few people who are looking for new construction, and I have been getting emails and phone calls nonstop. $15,000 offer, bonus offer this week, agents, we're paying them 3% now, and like, so they're doing all these different things to generate the business to come back because of the slowdown, because of interest.
Yeah, yeah. And remember, in any trend, new construction, right? So I don't think that this is going to be some great, big, huge movement, right? But this is what's happening. Push, 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 push. And then we all go, hey, what happened? No, we've been watching it. We have been watching it. So it shouldn't be a surprise. Thoughts, questions? All right. So how do we get some of that inventory? How do we get some of that inventory? We know the pricing, right? We know we have withdrawals, we know we have with expires. How many of you do open houses? Raise your hands. Okay. All right, good. How many of you do your own open houses for your listings? Keep your hands raised. All right, put your hands down. How many of you do open houses for other people's listings? Okay, very good. How many of you door knock around your open houses? Keep your hands up if you do. How many of you enjoy it? All right. Tracy, how many people came through an open house that you hosted on Sunday?
50 easy,
50. Price point,
280.
280. 50 people coming through. Was that your listing? It was not your listing.
Actually, 47.
Was it 47?
Yeah.
Guess whose listing it was? Guess whose listing it was?
Potential of 4 listings could come out of that.
All right, listen, did you guys listen to this? This is exactly why when Scott told me he was going to come in, I said, please share this. Say that again. You had 47 people come through on Sunday. How many through on Saturday?
7 came through on Saturday and about 40 groups on Sunday. It was chaos. It was insane. The HOA president emailed me complaining about the traffic, and parking.
right, and how many potential pieces of business?
Well, I think there's a potential of 4 listings out of it and a few buyers.
You guys, 4 listings from an open house. 4 listings. How many listings have you gotten from open houses?
One that I did last year has snowballed into 7 additional deals with 4 listings and 3 buyers. And one of the buyers that I'm closing on is a referral from one of the buyers I picked up that we're still looking for, but they already referred me, and I'm closing on that one in a little over a week.
Thank you for sharing that. So yes,
I
Heather.
just want to share, if anybody does not know, I moved here in 2016, didn't know anybody, got licensed in 2019. Literally did not know a soul and just did open houses. And I've built my entire business around open houses and then referrals and referrals. And I'm predominantly referral based now. So it works and you should keep doing it. And even when people don't show up, just keep doing it. It's so easy in this business to get feel like, oh, I'm doing so much and I'm getting nothing in return. You will, but if you do the open house and you don't do the follow-up, you are literally wasting your time. Wasting your time. Call them, email them, text them, and be obnoxious about it. Like not every day, but do it, like once a week and once every other week, and just do it until you get a no. You get a no, then wait like 4 weeks and then start again. Like this.
And
Don't forget
it was you, Heather. But remember, she said now her business is mostly referrals.
I saw a phone call on the way here from a client who I closed in 2019, and she's referred 4 people to me. And she was telling me that she has to get the columns replaced on her mother's house, and she still calls me for this kind of stuff. Yeah. And she still reaches out for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a relationship. But I met this woman, she was a referral from another person from an open house. So that's the only way I was able to build my business. Do not stop doing it.
And I love what you said, be obnoxious about it. She's getting referrals, right? Be obnoxious about the number of times. Don't be an obnoxious person, right? So let's talk about it for a second, because these are real stats. These are per National Association of Realtors. It says, though we don't have statistics on how many sellers visit open houses, we do know that 5 out of every 100 sellers find their agents at an open house. Guys, you're in front of people. You're smiling, you're being your beautiful self and your charismatic self and your funny self and people, and you're a real person. And you're not going to stand back and be really timid and say, oh, thank you for coming in. Welcome. Go ahead and see the house. And it'd be really great if you could sign in so the seller knows. Are you kidding? Don't be like that. How many of you have gone to open houses where you saw that? Right? And they're standing at the door like this. They're standing at the door and they're polite. They're going to, and oh, hi. You know why? Because they haven't been taught at a team meeting like this to get up and say like this. Hey, Ann, or hi, I'm Robin Lemon. Thank you so much for coming in. And you are? And thank you so much for coming in. How many open houses have you been to this today? 4. 4 open houses. God bless you. Thank you so much for coming in. It's pouring down raining and you're still here. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Look, you didn't come to talk to me. You came to look at the house. It's $458,000. We've got a finished basement. Oh my gosh, Ann, I'd love it if you could give me some feedback on what the finishes are in the basement because they're interesting. I'd love to get your feedback. Will you do that for me? Absolutely. Awesome. I'll see you later. Right? Let them go. And then you're going to have every single person that's coming in you're talking about. And then guess what you're going to do? Then you're going to go here. Then you're going to go here. And you're going to take the opportunity for every conversation that you're going to get into data. Because every agent can smile and talk about the schools and talk about the dog park nearby, and all of that is great. But when you're sitting there, this guy takes charts, stats, and God bless him. For those of you who don't know him, this is my husband. This guy will literally take his own charts. He takes his charts. So when he's talking about the market data, he wants to get into a conversation so that he can say, well, Carrie, thank you so much. What do you think of the the basement finishes, all of them do that, I do that. So I say, what you think of? And you go, oh, you know, that was really, I like that. Well, you know what, here's what's really interesting, Carrie, we're seeing that the sellers in this area, they're still getting over 100%, but the market is softening a little bit. Oh, how so? What are you seeing? And you start talking stats, guess what? Everybody, they're listening. Everybody around, they're listening to your conversations that you're having with everybody. Because they're listening to what you know, how much you know. Do they want to work with her? Because she's so sweet. She's got such a, and she knows her stats. We want to work with you.
The one from last July that I got, it was in the neighborhood. I picked up a seller in that neighborhood, and it was at his open house. And I was just going through all this party stuff, chatter stuff. And I had people standing around waiting. And one guy, I looked back because he was there for so long. And I asked him, hey, I'll get to you in a minute. He said, no, I'm just listening. And he sat back and was listening. And I was going through one person after another, going through those stats while somebody else was registering at the front door so that I could, I could hold the conversations that I wanted to. And then another one that I picked up off of another listing, at the open house, a mom was there with her daughter. The mom was from Florida, who's an agent, and they were going to open houses. And I was going through the statistics with them and what's going on in the market. And the mom told the daughter, this is the agent, this is the one we're going to use. And she told me she'd been to 5 other open houses, and she said no to her daughter on all those people because they were just standing there, not talking. They weren't showing that they understood the market.
Right? They're trusting us with a lot of money. Be trustworthy. Let them know you know. 5 out of 44 open houses guests use the agent from the open house. This translates into 1 out of 6 to 7 guests. If 6 to 7 visitors attend your open house, you will likely pick up 1. The busier the open house, the more you're going to get, right? Now, how do you get their information? Because this is the big thing. You don't want to say, oh, could you just sign in over here? The seller wants to know who's been in their house. Is that a lie? Yeah. So what are you going to do after you find out and you go, so Anne, what did you think of the finishes? You loved it. What do you think about the floor plan on the main floor? Is that
A little different.
little different? Now I'm going to engage with Anne and I'm going to have a conversation with her about her preferences. And then I'm going to go right back to her and I can say, Anne, what I'm hearing from you is you prefer a little bit more of an open floor plan. You prefer a little bit of hardwoods and everything. It looks like this one may not work for you. And I knew that this house was going to come on the market about 3 weeks ago. And there are lots of other agents in my group that have listings that are coming on. Would it be beneficial if I just let you know of some houses that may be coming on the market because the inventory is so short? Would it be okay if I got your information? I'll be happy to share that with you.
Yes.
Now Anne gives me her information. If I ask her to sign in, she's going to say Jane Doe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for her email, right? And right. So give them something of value. What do they want? They want to know what inventory is coming. Give them what they want. Now, what if you don't find any off-market properties? What if you don't? Then you start calling people who have investors like Team Kimberly. You call people that have investors and you knock on doors and ask if they're interested in selling and you go out and find the inventory and then you call them. And if you still don't have them, at least find something on FMLS and send it to them and say, this is not off market, it is on market right now. But I just want to make sure, Kim, are we still on the same page? Should I get your preferences? Okay, get that information. Okay. Door knocking to increase your open house. All right, I have a video that I'm going to show you. Here's a disclaimer. If you are sensitive to HE double hockey sticks, swear word, or if you're sensitive to that, then you have 5 minutes to go to the bathroom and come back in. But if you're not offended by that, I want you to watch this video and get a really great laugh today. Go for it. Sorry, guys.
I was sitting in my house a couple weeks ago, just relaxing. My doorbell rang. This is weird. It's a different feeling when your doorbell rings today opposed to 20 years ago, right? 20 years ago, your doorbell rang. That was a happy moment in your house. It's called company. Be sitting there on a Thursday night watching TV. Your doorbell rang, the whole family shot off the couch. Oh my God! Put the lights on, somebody's here. We got people. The whole family went to the door. The kids were in socks, they slid up to the door. Nobody looked to see who it was. Right, you just opened up the door, you were like, oh my God, look at that. Look at who's here. And you'd ask them, what the hell are you doing here? And the person would be like, I was in the neighborhood. I thought I might stop by, see how the kids are doing. They're like, oh, come on in. We're gonna have some cake. Your mother had a little Entenmann's. Maybe some Sara Lee crumble cake. Just in case company came over. She made an announcement when she bought it. She's like, listen, nobody touch this cake. This is for company only. Those crap muffins, those are for you people. You better hope to God somebody comes over so we can cut the cake. She put her cake in the middle of the table, proud of it. Right? She put it right in the middle. Cut yourself a slice. Want a cup of coffee? We're gonna do want some Sanka? Yeah, that's old school. A lot of the young kids are looking at me like, what is that, an iPhone app? What the hell is Sanka? Your mother had a tin, brown and orange tin of Sanka, ready to go just in case the company. She put a big pot on the table. Go ahead. Nobody had a cell phone back then. If your house phone did ring, your father stood up and said, nobody get that phone. We got company. And you lost track of time. 2 hours went by. You were like, we got to get out of here. That's okay. Next time we're going to come by you. Be like, yeah, my door's always open. Now your doorbell rings? It's like, what the fuck? All right, your own mother's crawling across the kitchen floor. Get down, my army crawl. Army crawl, get in the closet. Go get the sword in the living room. Somebody get the sword underneath the couch in the living room. There's a sword. All right, you have to turn and ask your family, you invite anybody over? You invite anybody over? There's always that person upstairs that didn't hear the bell. They come walking down. What the hell is going on? Get the hell down. Somebody's outside. They're at the door. I think they saw movement. Oh, God, I got to open it. I got no cake. I got no Sanka. I got nothing. Got nothing for these people. You can't stop by anybody's house anymore. If you do, you have to call from the driveway. You're like, I'm here. Can I approach? It's me and 3 other people. We're gonna walk up through this side. Is that your mother with a sword? Why did you have a sword?
All right, network marketers, if you're spending 90% of your time prospecting, I guarantee you're missing out on 95% of the recruits and the money that you should be making.
So door knocking. knocking. What do you guys think of that? Was that okay? So Scott had this up last night and we all watched. It was hilarious. I'm like, I'm playing that tomorrow. I'm playing that tomorrow. So, all right, door knocking, increase your open house efforts. Print your weekly stats or your neighborhood stats. Give a flyer to the open house. Do a neighborhood sneak peek before open house. Invite them. Ask if you can keep them updated on the sale of that house. Get their email, phone number, because you're going to provide the updates, right? And then follow up. Heather said it earlier. If you don't follow up with these people, then why'd you waste your time doing the open house? Why? Right? If you're not going to follow up with them, why did you knock on the doors? And it's 100 degrees outside with humidity at 95%, right? Why? So after the close, ask if you can add them to your weekly updates and enjoy the new business. That's what door knocking does. Questions? Comments? We've had a lot of those. Okay. There we go. All right. I'd love for Ann to share with us each week a little update on productivity coaching, and she's going to highlight somebody that is amazing. So come on up, Ann.
Hello, Roswell.
Hello.
So I wanted to share about one of my superstars hiding over there. I'm so proud of her. One of the reasons that I wanted to share is because it brings me so much joy when you see somebody starting making good decisions, right? Choosing to plug in, following her dreams, and most of all, having that kind of hunger, right? To get something done where your why is so big that the how does not matter, right? And that's what I tell people, and she is a great example of that. I remember Kimberly sitting in my office saying, and my feet hurt so much because I've been door knocking. I cannot hold it anymore, right? It was like, she was tired. She's like, I'm going, I gotta make this happen. There is no fail. I gotta get this through. And so if I were to, that's like my, my connection to her. But think about this for a second. If I come here and I tell you that there is somebody in our market center with 5 months in, $1.7 million in closed transaction and $1.2 million in current inventory, what would you think? Success leaves clues, and she did it her way, right? Which is alignment is key when it comes to success. But there are a few things that she shared with me that she did well, and I know some things that I know she did well, right? But a big plus is she really followed leadership. I think, we have a great leader. She was connected to her from the beginning. That is fantastic. She came to the office. We have shown that engagement in when you are plugged into your community works. And guys, our generation is moving in that direction. This is a hit. We need to build tribes, relationships. It's going to rule the way we move forward until we get to this in probably 7 years. But anyway, the other part of it is she came to the office, right? She came to the office. She connected with 2 amazing people that I absolutely love, Chemo and Allie.
Yes.
We're a huge support system. We become the average of those 5 people that we hang out with. So she chose fantastic teammates, and she looked up to the successful agents in the office. What are they doing? What exactly is happening, right? The other part, she followed a schedule, and this is the kind of schedule that I'm talking about. It's 4 hours of conversation, of finding people to serve. The other name for that is lead generation, right? But
Say that again.
It is finding 4 hours of finding people to serve on the phone. That's really what we do, conversations. And we had this conversation yesterday. She would end up on a contract. Some days we just call and we don't find anybody. But it's just like Heather was saying, you just don't stop there. She did not stop. I don't think stopping was in her vocabulary, which to me, I just absolutely love that kind of drive, right? It's not, you do until. And then the other part of it is she worked in her dialogues. And in addition to that, she had a fabulous mindset of like, I can do it. She had extreme ownership. If I don't know how, I'll find out, who knows, and I'm gonna go to it. And she made it happen. So I want you to celebrate this with me. This is a fabulous agent. It brings me so much joy to see her her success, because it proves that we can all do it. And if you do the right things, the fundamentals, guys, the fundamentals will always survive. And as Gary Keller says, when we are busy is when we forget the fundamentals. When we get sidetracked for like our success, but as the market is shifting, will be the fundamentals that will cause the success that we'll have. So anyway, please join me in celebrating him.
Congratulations, Kim. I'm so proud of this lady, so proud of her. Thank you for sharing. What a great way to share on them. So, okay, next slide. And we're sorry that it was my fault because I jumped on this net. Okay, come on up, Robin. Rocky Robin, tweet.
You said it was weird.
Okay, we have three Robins in the house. Robin and Robin Chester. Yay! We have three, so we've got Robin in the house. Yeah, we have Angela in the house. And we have Michaela in the house. Everybody say, these guys are trying us out today, so welcome.
Okay, Fall Festival is coming up. I know you've heard me talk about it, and moving forward, you're gonna get tired of hearing me talk about it. So if you don't want to keep hearing me hound your date, no, I'm just kidding. This is the sign up sheet. If you will please put your name, this is to sign up to participate, which means you're going to invite people. There, you can pay a $25, $50, $100 deposit, whatever you want to put forward now, so you don't have to pay it all in November. What happens is Erin will go ahead and get a deposit from you, and it costs the information is up at the front desk. When these slides go out, these are a few pictures from last year. The folks who cooked, our magician, our bubble lady, and more magician and food up on the stage. We put together a sample timeline of how long, and this only goes up until the event. It doesn't even talk about after the event, all the marketing miles you can get out of this one event. So for under $200 as a solo agent to invite 50-ish, 75 people, you can get a lot of marketing out of it. And the marketing you can do yourself. You can pay somebody to do it. I mean, that's totally up to you. But there's a marketing timeline for you, so get going on your marketing, phone calls, text, emails.
Save the dates.
Save the dates, yes, thank you, looking forward to seeing you next year. Here's what we're gonna do. Just some added information real quick, we are gonna have a website this year, that's in the works, I've already paid for it on GoDaddy. So kwroswellfallfestival.com will be a website where we're going to have all kinds of fabulous stuff. People are going to register on their phones to a Google form, and they're going to get information, and we're working on where that would actually ping you. So wherever you are on the ground, if your people choose your name when they log in on their phone, you're going to know Crystal, the Joneses are here. And she's going to be like, oh, yay. Because it is a big area, and you may have people show up and you're wandering around talking to other people, and then you see their name on a list later and you're like, I didn't know those people came.
How many people attended this last year?
Over 1,000. More than 1,000. This is a $20,000 event, folks. You're gonna pay under $200 if you're a solo agent for it. If you do the marketing yourself, you may pay someone $100 or $150 to do the marketing for you. But for under $500, you're giving your clients, your family, your friends, your cul-de-sac, your soon-to-be database, your people you just met last week because you don't have a database, you're giving them an over $20,000 event to come to for 3 hours. It is a no-brainer. So please sign up with your information. We will be in touch with you, and feedback from past years as people would like to start paying for it in the summer and not get hit with the bill in October, November. So you can thank Erin for that.
Thank you. This is such a no-brainer, such a no-brainer to do. Okay, there we go. We've got a couple of upcoming classes. Check your calendars. And Chartmasters this Friday, 10 to noon, Chartmasters 10 to noon at Country Club of Roswell. All those stats in the party chatter, it's done on a massive steroid level. Okay, so individual close, let's give some awards. No, I need Roxy up here real quick. Roxy, tell us what is going on.
First, I want to say that video, did everybody like that video she played?
Yeah.
I was looking around and some of you that don't smile a lot were actually smiling. So I think that says we need more comedy.
Yes.
To laugh about.
Yes.
So I had to chuckle because my stepmom used to put on the guest towels in our bathroom, do not use, they're for company. And we never had anybody come over. Anyway, so I'm Roxy Hernandez, and we have 3 philanthropies here in the Market Center that we support. Who are they? Foster Care Support Foundation, the First Responders in Roswell, and the Senior Services. So we have a golf tournament coming up on August 8th. It was rescheduled, and I'm still in need of, if you could text me, if you can help out, 4 volunteers. We're actually doing the golf tournament. My husband, Michael, said if you ever do it once, you'll do it every year because it's so much fun.
All right, what's the phone number again?
678-642-6204. So if you can text me, if you're available on August 8th, I can let you know what we have available to help out with. There'll be some famous players there.
6204?
Yes.
6204.
Yes. Yeah. So text me if you're available on August 8th, and I can let you know what we have available, and we can get you on the schedule. Roswell on the Rocks. We are not doing the coffee anymore now that school's getting ready to start back. So we're doing our next Roswell on the Rocks, which is just a fun social event. It's on August 18th from 4 to 7. I don't see anybody writing this down or texting. You're writing. It's on Roswell on the Rocks. We are going to be having it on Canton Street because it's alive in Roswell that same night. Who's been to that? One time they block off the streets in downtown Roswell. So from 4 to 7, we're going to be cooking out in the Curtains parking lot, Tom and Joanne Curtin. Have a mega agent office down there from 4 to 7, more details to come. Okay, anybody have any questions?
What's that one for?
Roswell on the Rocks. Yep, just show up, bring your family. You can bring your dog if you want. We'll have hot dogs and some other things, and then wear your red shirts. And then we can go walk around downtown Roswell in our KW shirts. Okay, thank you.
Yay, thank you, Roxy. Thank you. Okay, let's get some awards out. 2022 closed units. Closed units. Carrie just had to leave probably because she's got a buyer or a seller. Carrie Deal, Peggy Connor, Jill Maxon, Cynthia Bourgeois, Brett Tilehaber, Pamela Weatherby. Nice job for the individual closed units. For teams, the highest closed units, Ann and Miles, Del Cheros, nice job. Colleen's group, nice job. TMT Realty Group, the James team, the Gray Door Group, the Griffith Group, Rid and Wyatt Real Estate, and Team Schulte. Nice job. Closed units groups, Curtin team, and Atlanta Property Professionals team, Kimberly and Halcyon Home Group. Nice job. Listings taken units. Jim, Michelle, Jill, Adam, Raina, Brett, Cynthia, Jaleesa, Chemo, Tatum, Maribel, Jamie, Mary, Carmen, and Mark Woolers. Nice job. Teams, Team Schulte, Great Door, Group Hernandez Group, great job. Listings taken units and groups listing taken units. Curtin team, Team Kimberly, Atlanta Property Professionals. Nice job. A little bit of inspiration for you. Those who wonder if the glass is half full or half empty miss the point. The glass is refillable. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. Go out and conquer this week. Yeah.
I really don't like this. Like, she's like, okay, she's doing this till Monday. I don't know.